big sigh of relief, right? 2022 is over. We got 2023 here, and I'm going to bring you a real estate market update for Sanford, North Carolina, and the surrounding areas. So you'll read a lot of articles out there on a national level that will tell you that this big increase in interest rates has started home prices to decline, to crash even. A lot of them are hinting that, 2023 is going to be a really, really bad real estate market or a tough real estate market. And I'm just not believing that at all for our area. And not to say that they are not right in some areas of the country, but real estate is hyper-local, right? What goes on in San Diego, California has little to do with how the real estate market is going to perform here in Sanford and the surrounding areas. And I just believe that our market is more insulated from all of these outside factors than the rest of the country is, or than the majority of the country is. So I'm confident that we're going to have a really strong real estate market in 2023. There might be less volume that happens, right? Like less overall sales because listing inventory is still pretty low, and it's probably going to stay low through the better part of the first half of the year. So on the real estate agent side of things, we're all going to be fighting and clawing our way to get the transactions that are out there. But from a buyer and seller perspective, I think that we're going to have a really strong real estate market. The amount of job growth and the amount of population growth that is coming to our area, a lot fueled by that job growth, is going to keep buyer demand high. It's the reason why, along with the fact that a lot of sellers, were hesitant to sell their houses because they have 3, 4, 5% interest rate, and they would have to buy at a 6 or 7% interest rate over the last few months. Those two things, the amount of people moving in and the reluctancy of sellers to sell their houses, are what have kept Sanford home prices relatively safe over this period of time. So I'm going to show you some stats here real quick, and then give you some predictions on the real estate market for Sanford. That the average sales price in Sanford December 2022 was $306,000. Now that's down from $331 in March of 2022. That was our peak in March of 2022, but that's a spring number compared to a winter number. These numbers are usually lower in the winter anyways, right? It's actually up from $278 last December, right? So we're over $28,000 higher than last December. We're at 1.4 months of supply. That is up slightly from last December. Average days on market, that's up from last December. And the sale to list price ratio for much of last year was closer to 101%. And so all these numbers are down a little bit, but in a normal market, they'd all be down a little bit in December anyway. The fact that interest rates doubled, they went from 3.25% to 6.5%, 7%, and this is the minimal effect that it had on our market, tells us that our market is pretty strong. It tells us our market's not going to crash. If it were going to crash, my thoughts are it would have crashed already when interest rates doubled and stayed doubled for an extended period of time. But the fact that they doubled and it had a minimal effect on our market tells me our market is strong. And over the past 5 weeks, interest rates have been declining and trending downward. There are some short-term, day-to-day fluctuations, right? It might be higher today than it was yesterday by a little bit, but the trend is down now. And as interest rates continue to trend down, well, buyers are going to come back into the market. And we already know that a ton of jobs are being created from VinFast and Wolfspeed and a ton of other smaller employers that are coming to our area, which brings population growth. People are moving here. We add to the fact that people are moving here the fact that the millennial generation is one of the largest population groups in the country, and they're entering their prime home buying years. That means that they're entering the buyer's market as well. Even though they might live here already, they're starting to buy houses. So all these people moving from out of state to our area, all the millennials starting to buy houses, buyer demand is going to increase, and it's going to increase at the same time as buyers who were on the fence and waiting start to trickle back into the market as interest rates trend back down towards 5%. So all those things are going to increase demand, right? And our supply isn't going to go up rapidly because although there are a ton of building permits out there right now, they just simply can't build houses fast enough to take up all of this demand. A lot of sellers are hesitant to sell still because they're locked in at 3 or 4% interest rate. So we're going to have a ton of buyers looking and limited inventory. We're only sitting at 1.4 months of supply. A healthy market is closer to 4 to 6 months of supply. That's going to keep home prices at the very least remaining level. But my bold prediction is that we'll probably see home prices stay level for the first quarter. And after that, we're going to start to see them go up. And probably go up pretty significantly at a pretty significant pace again, like we saw in some of the hotter parts of 2020 and 2021. So if you're thinking about buying, you need to do it in the next 60 to 90 days, right? You need to take advantage of a little bit softer market, a little bit more days on market, the 97.8% sale to list price ratio, because if you wait until we hit the already typically stronger spring months and summer months, and that coincides with all these people coming for new jobs and moving to our area and all the people coming back into the market because interest rates drop down again, then you're going to be back in a situation where you're having to do multiple offers, fighting over the same properties everybody else is fighting for, and you're going to be in a position where you're going to have to go above asking price again to win your offer and get the house that you want. So if you're thinking about buying, next 60 to 90 days are critical. You need to get out there and buy them now, or else you're going to be back into a frenzy situation again next month. That's one of the bold predictions. Talk stats again for a second. 149 active listings on the market, right? That's down from 70 from last year by about 70%, right? Almost a little more than half of that, a little less than half of that this year compared to last year. Sorry, fumbling over the words a little bit. But 149 active listings on the market as of this writing. In December 2022, 64 new listings were added to the market. 74 went under contract. So we got 149 listings on the market, right? 64 new listings went up, but 74 went under contract, right? And 79 closed. That means more houses went under contract and sold than new listings were adding to the market. What do you think that's going to do to our month of supply, right? Our inventory levels, right? The supply available in the market is lower than the demand. There are more houses selling. So we're going the opposite direction of what would need to happen if we think a crash is going to happen. I think the opposite of a crash is going to happen. I think we're about to hit another boom stage in the market where we're about to start seeing prices go back up, demand go back up, and supply is going to remain low. So mortgage climate, right? I've already said they started to trend down. A lot of lenders have started to offer different types of programs. They've began to get more innovative with their product offerings because they saw mortgage application volume plummet when interest rates went up to 7%. They had less clients reaching out to them, so they had to get more creative in their product offerings to entice buyers to come and apply with them. So things like the 3-2-1 buy down programs, the different types of special programs for veterans and special programs for no money down started to come out. I even saw recently that there is a company coming out with a buy and then sell VA loan product, meaning if you're in a VA loan, that you can go ahead and buy your house with your bonus entitlement, not use your mortgage payment against you, and then sell your home after you move into your new one. That's game changing, right? Like that's an awesome program, and we're going to start to see a lot more of that innovation come to the market because mortgage companies still want to do volume, and when they can't do volume just because they can scream that they've got a 3 or 4% interest rate, they got to get more innovative on enticing buyers to get into the market. So I think supply is going to remain low. I think that the housing prices are going to remain level through the first quarter and then increase after that. I think the days on market are probably going to still increase a little bit. Even when supply is low, even when demand increases, I think that buyers have gotten into a position where they're, a little bit pickier now. They don't have to move so fast and they know it. And they can be a little bit more patient, right? And that means that if you're looking to sell your house, you're going to have to still do some things to make your listing stand out that you didn't have to do in 2020, 2021. You're going to have to make sure that you've got a realtor that knows how to market your property appropriately. If you want to see how we market our property, just go to our website, click on the marketing tab or seller experience tab, and you can see just how we help position your listing better than anybody in the marketplace. I think that the sale to list price ratio is probably going to stay pretty, similar to where it is right now, where some houses are going under contract at asking price. Some are going under and some are going over. During 2020, 2021, they were all going over asking price, at or over. Right now, the houses that you can find something wrong with them, they need some updates, maybe they weren't marketed the best, maybe they didn't, get enough eyeballs on them. Those properties are staying on the market a little longer, and the longer they stay, the more people smell blood in the water. Those houses end up going, under contract, under asking price. But the properties that are prepared properly or marketed great are still going at or above the asking price, and buyers are going to have to come correct to get their offers won on those. So those four things, I think, are what are going to happen in 2023. Increasing prices after the first quarter. If you're a buyer, get out there and get after it. If you're a seller, now's the time we need to be talking about how to prepare your listing, right? Where if you want to capitalize on a hot market again in the spring, the conversation starts now. We need to talk to you now on how we can prepare your house, what repairs you should be making, what repairs you should not be making, if any upgrades make sense, or if they don't. Most of the time they don't. But we can help you start preparing now, where we can get your house out there in the spring and be one of the houses that go above the asking price because we took the time to prepare properly. So if you found this valuable, you want to see more updates, make sure you hit the subscribe button, follow us on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you're watching this right now. And if you want to start a conversation about buying or selling the house, shoot us a DM, or you can call me at the number here below on the screen, or drop a comment, go to our website, hit the contact us page. However you want to get a hold of us so that we can have a conversation with you about your real estate goals and put together the plan to accomplish them. As always, I'm Walter Susevich, Sanford Surrounded Real Estate. We serve Sanford, North Carolina, and the surrounding areas, and who helps you with your home matters.